This man, he hails from Houston, Texas. He's a great community leader. As long as I've been knowing him, he's that kind of person, and people around the area look up to him. He's a top 100 Mavericks in business in the state. That's right. He's also a mentor to a lot of young people, especially those who are incarcerated. He's a man of faith. He's an awesome family man. He's a dear friend of mine, and he's always busy on some projects, and just amazing. So without further ado, from Houston, Texas, can we give Mr. Dwight Williams a hand as he comes and blesses today?
Good morning, good morning, good morning, everybody. I will be quick, I promise you. Mr. Thomas, once again, I always say this and I always thank you for it. Your patience and consideration. I thank you for the opportunity. You're a maverick and a leader in your own right, and so you can do all of this yourself, but I understand the power of leverage is everything. Everybody has something to bring to the table. So it is a plum-pleasing pleasure for me to be here this morning. And I thank you guys for taking the time to hear old, average, normal guy as myself. I just love people, man. And I think the success comes from that. I just love people. And I just want to see you guys win. I just really want to see you guys win. How many of you, let me ask you a question. How many of you get excited when Mr. Lewis reads off the offerings for this month? How many of you really get excited about that? I'm gonna tell you, let me tell you why I get excited about that. Because I don't have a boss telling me that I'm gonna give you a 3 to 5% increase and saying that's what I'm gonna give you. I got somebody saying, hey, look, man, you can sell these Vivids and make $150, $200, X amount of dollars every time you move it. You can close this many energy accounts. Now it's up to you. What does that mean? It's up to me. I can make as much as I want. You can make as much as you want. You can, as hard as you're willing to work. And for me, all I need and care about it is I need to know that the opportunity is unlimited. That's the key for me, is when I know that I have an unlimited opportunity, because I don't like limited opportunities. Typically, I won't participate in an opportunity that's limited. And which is why I stopped doing that I used to do, and I began to pursue business. I went into business. I became an entrepreneur. Why? Because I don't like limits. I never have, even as a kid. I've never liked. My mother used to tell me, Dwight, you're spending too much money. Stop telling me I'm spending too much money. Just tell me how much I got to make to be able to spend whatever I want. And that's not a smart, it's probably not a smart statement, but the truth be told, it's a mindset. I don't like limits. I never have, even when I was really, really young. And I'm still kind of young, but I mean, you get my point. I want to talk briefly. And I know Mr. Thomas said he kind of mixed things up on me this morning. He says, I don't want a whole lot of mindset this this month. So I'm thinking I'm a big mindset guy, and he is as well. Personal development is important, but the reason he's saying it, and I get it, he wants you guys to start winning. He wants you to win. He wants you to win big. You're faced with a tremendous opportunity, and yes, mindset is crucial to success. But the mechanics of getting it done are equally important to getting it done. So I'm going to talk briefly about challenges, and I mean really, really briefly. The challenges are everything, and I know many of you. Mr. Thomas mentioned earlier, you face, I was going to say you may face, but you guaranteed you face objections. You face people that tell you no. You face people that don't understand. You face people who try to convince you that it won't work. You face the challenges of life. I'm at a place where my business is not where it can help me, so I've got to have alternative approach. You have all of these challenges that we face. I always say when people say, well, Dwight, what about somebody that tells you that that this will never work? I never remember, it's all about vision. Vision is everything. Just because if you see it and they don't, would you let a blind person jump in the driver's seat and drive you somewhere? And I'm not suggesting that. What I'm saying is they may not see what you see. Well, and if you, why would I communicate about my vision with a person that doesn't see what I see? And so I don't spend a lot of time communicating with them. I just let them see me go. And when they see me go in that direction, they'll choose to follow or not. I put the ball in their court, but I always make my decision on where I'm going to go. Challenges are going to be in everything we do. People are going to always tell us no. People are not, they're going to always be misunderstood. They're going to always be people who don't see what you see. But do not allow think about it, that never be, with a horse and buggy, that never be a car. If some guy didn't say, you know what, there's got to be a better way than riding a horse and a buggy. If that had never happened, we'd still be riding horses and buggies. It took somebody to see something that all the horse and buggy guys never could see. Think about it. The one that I love is the light. Think about it. The way we lit the world was candles and lamps. Can you imagine the people? Can you imagine he was a socialite? Can you imagine him going into these circles and talking to these people and saying, hey, you know what? I'm gonna harness electricity and I'm gonna put it in a piece of glass and we're gonna light the world. We're gonna get rid of the candles and we're gonna get rid of lamps. What? And so think about if he listened to the people that said it'll never be done. It can't be done. What you're doing can't be done. You can't be free. You have to have a job. You got to go get it. You have to do these things. There are no other options. It's not true. Just because they don't see what you see doesn't mean that it can't be. I mean, you get it? So there's a statement that says that challenges are make life interesting. Overcoming challenges, though, makes life meaningful. So I encourage each of you, every objection, I say this every time, I say this most times I get on this call. Mr. Thomas is having a lot of meetings. He's meeting with you guys on a regular basis. I never come to a call without inviting somebody. I try to have people on every call. And if when I say and make that statement, in your mind, it says, yeah, but that's not easy to do. That's hard to do. Immediately you begin to talk yourself out of it and it won't get done. But if when I say that statement, you say, you know what, I'm going to make a decision today. I'm never going to get on a call without somebody. If you make that decision, just like by not making that decision, you don't have one, by making that decision, in most cases, you will have one. Why? Because law of attraction says like attracts like. That mindset will achieve the very thing that it believes. Think about it. If I believe something, it changes the steps that I take. If I don't believe that thing, my steps are different. Most people don't understand that that the posture of belief is different from the posture of doubt and unbelief. So when I believe a thing, I subconsciously begin to do things that lead. I remember Mr. Adlam talked about reticular, what is it? Reticular, there's a, you never see a car until you become interested in it. So let's say, for instance, I've never seen this car, but when I decide to buy this car, all of a sudden I see this car everywhere. Well, it's not that the car wasn't there. It's just that you raised your awareness to the car. And now all of a sudden, when it shows up, you see it. Before, it was a blind spot. You weren't paying attention. Well, the same thing is true here. When you focus your attention on achieving something and getting something done, I'm going to have at least 1 or 2 or 5 people at every call. All of a sudden, you start to see those opportunities everywhere you go. Why? Because you begin to focus your attention on that thing, which begins to draw that thing to you. And I'm telling you guys, everything in life is as simple as that. We complicate things unnecessarily, but life is really, really simple. And so it's not, you can put mechanisms in place to help you do it better, like documents and forms and CRMs but the truth be told, if my posture when I walk out the doors, I'm getting somebody today and I'm not coming home until I do, you're going to get somebody. Chances are, I'm telling you, chances are. But if your posture is, I'm not going to get anybody today, guaranteed you won't. Well, but what's the statement? If whether you say you can or you say you can't, you're still right. It's a true statement. Now, here's the killer posture, is the optional one that says, I might get somebody. Well, the chances are when the might typically ends up not. Because what might says is I'm giving myself a backup plan, a second option not to get it done. So the truth be told, it's the same as saying I'm not going to get it. But when I say I'm demanding from creation, I'm going to tell my world, my circle, my influence, and everything around me, I want what I want. And the first time you do it, you'll get one. And then all of a sudden you say, I'm going to get two, and you'll get it every time. Then you say, I want five, and you'll get it every single time. It actually works, and it works in every area of your life. This is what I want for my life. And this is the salary that I want, and I'm going to demand it. I'm not going to take, and so most people say, well, what if they say no? I'm going to speak for me. I'm not going to speak for you. I'm going to speak for me. So I want to take you off the hook. I'm going to quit. You're going to quit. The only way, I'm telling you, the only way, if you've ever played poker, you don't put it all on the line, there's no way you're ever going to win. You got to be willing to put it all on the line. And so if you don't give me what I want, the only way you're going to know what's available is to put it all on the line. It's to walk out there and say, I'm not coming home. I remember that was a gentleman said, he told me, he said, Dwight, let me tell you something. I walk out with $1 every day, $1 in dime. Well, no, what he told me, how did he start? He started off with quarters. He said, I walked out and I started off with $1 in quarters every day. He said, I put 4 quarters in my left pocket. He says, and for every person that I met that I got a commitment from, I moved that quarter from one side, one pocket to the other pocket. He said, Mr. Thomas knows this. Mr. Thomas is familiar with this. He got really good at doing quarters. And then he went to dimes. He started his day with 10 dimes in his left pocket. And every time he got a commitment, he'd move a dime. He would not go home until every coin on the left pocket was in the right pocket. He said, Dwight, he says, I'm gonna tell you, I went to nickels. He says, I got to pennies. I got so good. He says, I even got better than that. He said, I got to a place where I could do $2 and $3 in pennies in a pocket and move them all over in a day. He said, now you got to be good. He says, I was really good. And I was doing techniques and things that gave me access to multiple people. He said, but dude, I got so good, I could do 100 people in a day like nothing. He said, but I walked out every day with a plan. And it is really as simple as that. And with that said, Mr. Thomas, back in your hands.